My mess of a life. My boyfriend of 9 years slept with our babysitter. I've been looking on here since D-Day in February 2023. This is a long one and is kind of all over the place, but I wanted to finally post my story. I'm not really sure why I'm posting. I think I just want to get it out. 32F, have been with WP, 33M, for 9 years, and we have two children together, 8 years and 5 years. I was a CA shim from 2017 to 2020 and decided to get a part-time job in July just to get out of the house teaching kids gymnastics. I worked with a few teenagers and they would always offer to babysit my kids. There was one girl, AP, in particular who my kids really connected with, and I thought she was great. She had a rough home life, so she would spend a lot of time doing family things with us, and she would often call me Mom. She even went on a vacation with us in 2021 to help with the kids. Last summer I was working a lot, so AP had been spending a lot of time helping out with the kids. WP works from home, so he was downstairs working but would occasionally get breaks and hang out with AP and the kids. Toward the end of summer, before AP went off to college, WP brought up the idea to me of having a three-way with AP. I told him absolutely not. I view her as a child since I met her when she was 16. She was 18 at the time of this being brought up. A few days later, she brings it up to me. Apparently, he had asked her to help convince me. She was very interested as she was still a virgin, never had a boyfriend or anything. I get upset that he even brought this up to her since I already said no. He apologizes and just keeps saying, "We all had such a great summer together and just connected so well. I thought maybe we could take it to the bedroom." We briefly discuss an open relationship, my idea. But WP said he couldn't handle me sleeping with someone else, so it wasn't brought up again. At this point, I start feeling depressed. Why can't I be enough for him? She leaves for college in August 2022, but we still text a lot. I considered her a friend at this point. When she would come back occasionally on weekends or breaks, she would spend a lot of time at my house to see the kids and I. For months, Ogdek WP constantly asked me to spend more quality time with him, but I was still upset over what happened over the summer, so I unintentionally distanced myself from him. AP returns home for winter break right before Christmas and is spending tons of time at my house. She would spend the night on the couch a lot. Nothing unusual, as that's something she used to do a lot after watching the kids. Things feel off around this time, and I question both of them, together and separately, if anything is going on between them. They both deny every time. Fast forward to February of this year. AP comes home for the weekend. A mutual friend of ours was with us and told me AP and WP had been sleeping together. AP told her that morning, and the friend said she'd give her time to tell me herself, but couldn't wait anymore. She had to tell me, and I am forever grateful she did. I was in shock. I immediately go home and confront WP. He denies it at first, but after I told him AP admitted it, he finally confirms. Immediately apologizes, tells me he loves me and saying he has no idea why he did it, doesn't want to lose me. I take the kids and go to my sister's for a few days. I decide to go back home and told him I needed to know everything. Where did they sleep together? How many times? When? How? Everything. Some of the details I finally got. It happened 5 times. 4 times over winter break and 1 time the night before D-Day. It all started one night when I was sleeping on his chest on the couch 5 days before Christmas, and she grabs his hand to put down her pants. She also confirmed this. He is fingering this girl while I'm sleeping on him. That is one detail that's hard to swallow. The next night they sleep together for the first time. I was asleep in my bed and they were in the other room. They had sex in my front room. This is how it went the 5 times they slept together. I would go to bed, and once I was asleep, they would go at it in the living room. WP and I both block AP, cut her out of our lives completely. This was hard as our kids still occasionally ask why they don't see her anymore. We try to work on things. Around May, I start really questioning how I could ever get past this. I'm so incredibly hurt and my self-esteem is shot. I tell WP I need a break. I can't fully commit to R and I want to explore other options. At this point, we are still living together and acting as normal as possible in front of the kids, but not technically together. Things have been rough since. Nothing feels real anymore. I'd always thought we had a really solid relationship. I thought we worked so well together. Now I'm just lost. He told me yesterday he needs to know whether or not we are going to work toward our relationship because this has been torture for him not knowing. We decided I would make a decision by the end of September, and I'm so torn on what to do. Asterisk edited to add. I have been in weekly therapy the past few months. We tried couples counseling a few weeks after D-Day, but the counselor seemed to attack WP for his choices, kept asking, "Why would you do that?" and a few other remarks, and neither of us found it helpful. What should I do? Thanks for listening to my story.